Greetings, fellow bridge lovers, and welcome back to the Bridging with Kai channel. Today, we are going to be taking a look at a hand from the Vanderbilt. This was in the quarterfinals. This was Team Wolfson versus Team Rosenthal. We were particularly at the table where Bakke and Brogeland were playing against Berkowitz and Ginossar. And oh my gosh, first off, this match was so amazing to watch. It was very entertaining, very intense. Top legends of the game playing against each other. I just needed to highlight this particular hand, but also this was originally live streamed on BradyBot's channel and on BBO. I had the pleasure of being able to commentate on BBO. That was very exciting. But this hand involved a redoubled contract, and it stayed in. They had to play in a redoubled contract, and how does that happen? Like, that never happens. I've actually been hearing a lot of instances of a bunch of redoubles happening in Memphis from friends in this Vanderbilt everywhere. So I'm going to be covering a lot of redoubled contracts very soon, but this one is the first. I hope you enjoy this one because, my goodness, this one left me floored. But before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone. We have been growing so fast in terms of subscriber count. Like, I cannot believe it. To those of you who've already done it, thank you so much. For those of you who might not have done it yet, join on the train. It's a lot of fun and helps support me and support all of these bridge promotional activities. The more numbers we get, the more people we can get seeing bridge online. So thank you so much for doing that. And let's get straight into this video. All right, so here's the hand. East-west are vulnerable, north-south are not. You have Christian Bakke at the top. You've got Boye Brogeland on the bottom. You've got Eldad, Ginossar in west, and David Berkowitz on east. Absolute legends of the game, so this is going to be an intense fight no matter what. Gotta go check out that match if you have not already. So we start out. East here decides to pass. We considered possibly saying maybe a 2-diamond preempt, even though you only have 5. It is a fairly decent suit quality, but you are first seat, you are vulnerable. You might want to see what partner has to say first. If partner has a hand that would open 1 heart, you're going to be very sad if you preempted 2 diamonds here. And it goes 1 club from south, and one thing that's very important to note here is that north-south Bakke and Brogeland play a transfer Welsh system. So the 2 clubs opening is only guaranteeing 2+. It is fairly nebulous. West passes because they have nothing and bids 1 heart. Now, 1 heart does not show hearts. Transfer Welsh, you play transfers over 1 club. So 1 heart is a transfer to spades, and 1 diamond is a transfer to hearts. And this is a good way to show majors. And the way that this structure works, if you accept the transfer at the 1 level, you bid 1 spade, you are showing 3-card spade support. You are saying, partner, I have 3 spades. If you have 4 spades, you bid 2 spades, you jump. And this is basically just the simple raise. It's the exact same way that you would respond if the auction, let's say, went 1 spade, pass, 2 spades. It's exactly the same thing, but you're able to differentiate between a 4-4 fit and a 4-3 fit. And this solves that problem where if North is bidding 1 spade with 5 cards, it's very hard to find a 5-3 fit. But if the auction goes 1 club, 1 heart, pass, 1 spade, now we know that South has 3 spades, not 4, and North, if they only have 4 cards, might consider no trump, might consider other things. But if they have 5 spades, they now know they have a fit. So this kind of solves that problem. But what do you do with a strong hand with 4 spades? Well, you just bid 3 spades, or you can bid 4 spades. So you can show extras still by jumping. Now, South doesn't have a hand that has spade support, so what do? They bid 2 clubs. They show a club suit. Now, most of the time, you would expect this to be showing 6+, but what does South do here? I mean, I guess you could bid 1 no trump, but this isn't a particularly balanced hand either, and I'm not completely well informed on what the transfer Welsh system is, so 1 no trump could technically be meaning something else, although I do believe that you would want to keep it as a balanced, a minimum hand. So it goes 2 clubs, South has 5 clubs, and then we see 2 diamonds from North, which just feels a little weird, because why are you showing diamonds over any of the other suits? Now, I'm not completely certain on their system, but most of the time when you have an auction that goes 1 club, 1 of a major. I know this is showing the other major than what it is showing, but it still is technically the same idea. 1 club, 1 of a major, 2 clubs, showing 6 cards. You don't really have many forcing bids by North, so lots of people play 2 diamonds here as artificial and game forcing. So it's kind of like 4th suit forcing when you don't have the ability to necessarily game force. And here, North has a gorgeous hand, and it would be a shame for North to be forced to jump to show a stronger hand and take away space when you still don't necessarily know that you've got a fit or not. So lots of people solve this problem by making two diamonds artificial and game forcing. Some people say that it's game forcing and natural, and other bids could be showing extras as well, as long as it's a new suit by responder, because new suit by responder is forcing. So that's what I expect two diamonds is. I wasn't completely sure. And we look at East's hand now, and East is like, yeah, I want a diamond lead. I've got a diamond suit. The North bid is probably not really that natural. Most of the time it's artificial and game forcing, and East feels like, okay, we'll get in there. I'll let my partner know about my diamond suit, and I want a diamond lead. It seems harmless enough, right? Want a diamond lead? Go for it. Redouble. Well, from the title of the video, you probably know what this is. This is probably an offer to play. And, you know, I was like, well, that's a pretty good diamond suit over there. I would be a little bit spooked, but I mean, you can offer it to play if maybe two diamonds is somewhat natural. You might not be too afraid playing in two diamonds redouble, but it goes pass. And then the moment of truth here, does North pass? Yes, they do. Bakke thought for a long time, but eventually passed. And now Berkowitz is like, uh-oh, I don't have much of a hand here. I'm vulnerable. If I run to something else, I'm getting doubled and I'm going for a number. And clearly, they are not afraid to be playing in two diamonds redoubled. The best thing to do is probably just sit it out. They did game force, so that's probably why South was comfortable offering to play, hey, I've got an opening hand, I've got 4 diamonds, and you might have shown some diamonds we don't necessarily know based off of system, whether they have or not. So they were comfortable playing in diamonds redoubled, and basically any time Berkowitz and Ginossar run, they're vulnerable, so we can whack them and they're going to struggle. So they knew they had the majority of the points, and far above the majority of the points. So they were like, yeah, let's try it. Let's see what happens. If we look at this and we get the opening lead of the Queen of Diamonds, the main purpose being Berkowitz probably just wants to try to shut down a potential cross ref that could be occurring, because if North has shortness in clubs or something and South has shortness in spades, then the cross ref could be occurring. You just want to shut down that. And oftentimes it's just the safest lead to lead trump. Unfortunately, we will figure out later that this was not necessarily the best lead, because you've got the Queen Jack 10, but the declarer has the 9 and the 8, and actually all of the spots in this suit are extremely important. So if we do an overall analysis, North has probably somewhere around 3 diamond losers. They got no spade losers, no heart losers, and a club loser or 2. So Declarer actually isn't all that nervous about going down in this contract, but what Declarer really wants, since we're playing imps, is to get these redoubled over tricks, because each one is worth 200 points. It's crazy. So it goes Queen of Diamonds, and I'll go through the line that Bakke took here. Went diamond around to the ace, and it's maintaining pressure because we know that East holds all of these diamond cards from the bidding. They did do a lead directing diamond double. So I would expect that at this point, Bakke has placed Berkowitz with holding all of these cards. You know that they hold all of these cards. So you want to maintain the king over any honors and the 8 over any cards that East holds. So that's why we won with the ace over here. And now what Bakke attempts to do is starts trying to set up the club suit, goes for the king, and then it goes ace of spades, and the point here is we're just trying to unblock the spade suit and play clubs up again. It goes club, it goes ace, and then jack. Now Declarer knows that the club suit is all set up. So at this point, it looks like the Declarer's lost a club. They're probably going to lose somewhere around 3 or 2 diamonds, depending on how well the diamond suit goes. So we were probably going to be expecting making 9 or making 10. So Bakke is going to try to find a way to surgically play this hand in order to take as many over tricks as possible. Berkowitz exits a club here, and the point is, don't want to be throwing away tricks. Berkowitz doesn't necessarily know what's going on in the heart suit, so it just seems safe to exit this club trick. Who knows, you might be getting your partner a ruff as well, if for some reason they hold extra diamonds, but I doubt that North would be passing diamonds redoubled with only 2 of them. So it goes club, club, around to the 7, and the 8 of clubs wins. And then Declarer plays a heart to the ace, and then the jack of spades. And at this point, Berkowitz is in a very painful position. If they trump, you're getting over-trumped, so you want to maintain the trump. Another option here for Berkowitz is to start pitching hearts. In the end, it actually doesn't really do much, because we also can just pitch hearts, and then we can just keep pummeling down on this idea of forcing them to ruff. So even if they ruff later, there's nothing that they can do, because we still have the king of hearts forcing them to ruff at this point. So it doesn't really matter, and Berkowitz, I believe, saw that. So it's like, might as well just rough now and see what happens. So at this point, it goes Jack of Spades, 4 of Diamonds, 6 of Diamonds, and once again, we have 6 tricks now. We know we're getting 1 diamond for sure. We're going to get another heart, and we can apply pressure with the spades suit here. So at this point, diamond is 1. A heart gets played back up to put Berkowitz in this difficult position again when another spade is played. And if they trump with the 7, then the 8 wins. If they trump with the 10, the king wins. So they trump with the 10. But unfortunately for Berkowitz, Bakke also has the 9 of diamonds and can force out the Jack of diamonds and maintain the 8 of diamonds here. And you don't want to exit a diamond because then they also get their club. And it goes Queen of Hearts, Declare has to trump, and now the 7 of diamonds has been promoted, and Berkowitz wins the last trick, but the last trick doesn't get you much because, well, I mean, instead of it being 1,160, it's only 960, but 960 is it's not a great score. That hurts a lot. But also, I wanted to note something in this end position. If you replace the 8 of diamonds with the 3 of diamonds, if you swapped them, when we exit the Queen of Hearts, if we can trump with the 3 of diamonds here, and then use the 8 of diamonds to trump, then the 7 gets smothered and we make 11. But there also is the additional fact that if we had the 8 of diamonds up here, then when we're playing this Jack, we have so much less pressure because the 7 would now be forcing out the king instead if the 8 was up there instead. And we might be losing 1 more trick earlier because of it, which is a fun little idea. Now, I also want to take a look at the double dummy line because the double dummy line is gorgeous as well. Of course, double dummy here says that the worst lead is the lead that Berkowitz decided to play, but I completely sympathize. I would be leading the Queen of Diamonds here as well. But it goes Queen of Diamonds, diamond to the ace, and it goes club, king, club. So far, Bakke is following the best line. And at this point, this is where the deviation comes in. Apparently here, playing a spade was a mistake. What you had to do was drop the Jack of clubs here. Which, first off, psychic is all get out. It's very difficult to find this. It is so much more natural to try to play a spade like Bakke did. What Bakke actually did in this scenario is they exited the 10 of clubs. And the idea is if East wanted to cover with the Jack of clubs, then you're giving them the opportunity to. Makes it look more appealing when you're playing a high card just to cover it. But it went ace, and then Bakke here made a little bit of an entry problem mistake. They played the 2 of clubs, and for some reason in the double dummy line, you need to maintain an entry through the club suit to get back up to the north hand. And it is better to instead pitch the 8 to maintain transportation just in case the Jack happens to drop. I sympathize with this mistake because this is not a consideration I would really be making. I know to keep entries, but also it's contingent on the Jack dropping. Now, if Berkowitz stuck with the same idea, exiting a club, now we want to end in the north hand and start putting pressure on Berkowitz by playing these spades out. Now, if you pitch hearts, then we also will be pitching the heart suit so that we can continue this crusade of pain that we're giving you. And we're going to just be exiting this heart like so. And now at this point, Berkowitz is forced to rough. It goes 4, it goes 6. And if you play the 7 instead, you win the 8, right? If you play the Jack or 10, you win the king. And I'll just play it out because everything just works out here in all of the scenarios. You play the Queen of clubs, and you don't just let it go. You have to rough with the 9. And now Berkowitz is end played. If you exit the Jack, you win the king, like so. If you exit the 7 of diamonds, then Bakke wins the 8. And this exact pattern kind of just explores itself regardless of what card Berkowitz plays here. It goes 7 of diamonds this time. We win the 8. It goes club, and then 9. Now when you play the 9 and it goes 10, you are once again end played. If you play the 4, they win the 6. If you play the Jack, then you win the king. And then finally, if you decide to go with the Jack, it goes king, right? And now we play the Queen of clubs, exiting with the same thing, and now you even get end played with the 7 and the 4, with the 8 and the 6 still remaining. Every single spot card counts here, which is absolutely insane. I'm actually kind of curious why this doesn't work when you play the 2 as Bakke did. So let's say we exit a club, and why can't we just exit a heart and start doing the same thing? What's the difference here? I'm not sure. It goes king, and they have to ruff with the 10, and you can't get end played anymore for some reason. It goes heart. And oh, what you're able to do now, you trump low. Why does this work? You ruff, and now you are holding the jack 7 over the 9 8. If you play the 8 of diamonds, it goes like this, and they win, and then they exit a heart, and they get their heart winner that they otherwise were not going to. And also, if you just try to play the club and you try to do the ruff, the same thing happens. If you try to trump high, it goes queen, it goes 8, and now the 7 is promoted because the 8 got knocked out of your hand. Oh my gosh, this is like insanely deep, y'all. Holy cannoli. I could probably spend another hour looking at this hand and seeing all of the little intricacies that occur. But yeah, this is crazy. Just the fact on this line, Berkowitz would have to find these plays. So, and not doubting that Berkowitz would, it's just a insanely difficult position to first decide that you have to ruff high, and then on the second time around, you decide that you have to ruff low. It feels so natural to win the jack, pitch a club, and then try to draw another trump here. But the problem is that Declare at this point, if they're careful, is able to just win the queen and then play to the 8, and now their queen of clubs is all set up. So it's all so insanely deep. This end position is crazy. The build up to the end position is insane. The fact that it's in a redoubled contract is also insane. I just had to highlight it. It's crazy. And the final thing I'd like to mention about this hand is if we go back to the very start and we change the hands around. So now let's say we give East a spade singleton, and now we get the queen of diamonds lead. If we look at double dummy, it's taking a while to calculate it just because it's such a deep problem. Now the best you can do is +2. Reason being that now if we go about it this exact same way, we take this line, we try to cash the ace of spades and we play another spade, which is still the proper line. The problem is now that they can rough in with the low diamond, which they otherwise did not get. They otherwise did not get this 4 of diamonds here, and that just gives them an extra trick. You can still go +2 by kind of taking the same idea. Let's say they passively exit a heart or something, psychically, and we do the same thing where it goes ace, it goes 2. You can still go +2 here. It's just extremely, it's still just like kind of the same end position. Let's switch it up. Let's say they trump this time. It goes 8, right? We can get back with a heart, and the same thing kind of plays out where eventually you're just going to have to get one diamond trick, and we only get, and the defense only gets one more diamond trick. So yeah, it's still +2. It came really, really close. I guess another thing to kind of talk about, I've changed the hand back to what it was before, is on a non-diamond lead, there is so much less pressure because if let's say start with a spade instead, right? You just passively start with a spade. The pressure isn't there as much because the spot cards favors the offense a lot less, because now you've got the queen jack 10 at your disposal, all of those touching honors. So if we try to go about the same thing, it still causes difficulty, it still has its effectiveness, but and actually I guess if you play clubs, you need to start going about this like this right now. It goes 2, let's say we pitch club, let's play the jack, let's say they pitch a heart, we will pitch a heart, and now we play the ace of hearts, and if they pitch a club, then we can just exit, so they might just want to attempt to do the diamond, we do the king, and I guess Double Dummy is saying we have to play another diamond, and now we're throwing them in, and if it goes like ace of clubs and another club trying to throw us in, what we can do is get to this insane end position where we exit a club, and now they're end played. They thought they were end playing us. No, your trumps are too long. So then they get end played for +2. So +2 is pretty much always possible. +3 is very difficult to get to. But the recording on this video is currently 33 minutes long. I've been talking about this so long. This line is just so insanely deep, and I always am so interested in these hands where all of the spot cards matter. Every single one. You thought that this lead directing double was like, they're never going to stay in 2 diamonds doubled, let alone redoubled. Oh my gosh. It's amazing that, firstly, they were able to get to the redoubled contract and then make 2 over tricks for +960. Do you see a score like that often? I don't think so. But I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of deep bridge lines and stuff, but I hope you enjoy that kind of stuff, because I certainly do. It was crazy, y'all. I'm not sure if I've played in a redoubled contract and made it yet in my bridge career, but at some day, I hope that I get to see a hand like this, and I play it as well as Bakke did. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Keep on bridging, everyone. Bye!